All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over, man. Got this video here from Retro Grooves. Living Single 1993 cast reveals what most fans never figured out. Now, I don't know if you guys ever watched that show, but it was hilarious. It was, they did such a great job with the cast. I love Sinclair, man. Such a good show, man. I haven't seen a rerun though in a while. Let's see, man. Again, appreciate all of you guys coming over and watching. I'll leave the original video in the description for you guys to check out more and even subscribe. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Being a dark-skinned actress and also being funny and maybe not being the ideal of what they thought funny girls looked like.
Right.
They know what to do with me, and I got offered nothing after I finished that show.
For 5 seasons, they were the friends we all wanted, but behind the laughter of Living Single was a secret battle most fans never saw. The cast was fighting for respect against their own network, facing betrayals and inequalities that threatened to tear them apart. Now the cast is finally revealing the full story of what really happened in that Brooklyn brownstone. And the truth is more shocking than you ever imagined. A family forged in secret.
Now, ladies, no need to fear. There's a handyman on the premises.
Can you fix it?
Can I fix it? Does a baby cow drink till it's full?
In 1993, a show about 6 black friends living and loving in a Brooklyn brownstone changed television. Living Single, created by a young and brilliant Yvette Lee Bowser, introduced the world to Khadijah James, the ambitious magazine publisher played by Queen Latifah. We met her sweet and quirky cousin, Sinclair James, played by Kim Coles, and her childhood friend Regine Hunter, the fashion-loving gossip played by Kim Fields. Across the hall were their male counterparts, the sophisticated stockbroker Kyle Barker, played by TC Carson, and the lovable handyman Overton Wakefield Jones, played by John Henton. And of course, there was the sharp-tongued attorney Maxine Shaw, played by Erica Alexander, who always seemed to be raiding their fridge.
Hey, man, they were some pretty successful people on this show, man. I think, being younger, I don't think I really understood that as much as I do now. Like, when you hear that again, they all had it going on, man.
But from the very first day, a secret battle was being waged behind the scenes. Most fans never knew that the iconic character of Maxine Shaw was almost erased before the show even began.
What?
Network executives told the creator, Yvette Lee Bowser, that Max was too strong a character. Bowser, who was only 27 at the time, saw herself in Max.
Damn.
She had wanted to be a lawyer and felt a deep connection to the character's strength and ambition. So she gave the network an ultimatum. She told them, if you get rid of Max, you get rid of me. The network blinked. A compromise was reached. Max wouldn't live in the apartment with the other girls, but she could live across the street. This decision is why Max was always bursting through the door, making her grand entrances from the hallway. It was the result of the very first fight to keep the show's vision pure. This fight for authenticity was happening while the cast was dealing with another secret. The incredible chemistry that made them feel like lifelong friends was pure acting talent. In reality, they were all strangers who had just met. Kim Fields later described it as a weird dynamic where fact meets fiction. They had to immediately pretend to have been bonded for years, a testament to their skill as performers.
That's a huge skill, because, like, no chemistry at all. And you have to, boy, they did a great job convincing me. Because, I think for the most part, actors have met each other, in some form, shape, fashion. I don't know. They know of each other, but like coming together and just like, boom, y'all got to work together. Like, you don't know the person middle name, you don't know their birthday, nothing like that. That's impressive.
But what helped forge a real bond were the true family ties woven into the show. In a move that added a layer of genuine heart, Queen Latifah's real mother, Rita Owens, was cast to play Khadijah's mom on screen. And Kim Fields' real mother, the actress Chip Fields, played Regine's mother, Laverne Hunter. These real-life connections grounded the show in a way few sitcoms ever achieve. Even the world they lived in had its secrets. Most fans would be surprised to learn that the iconic Brooklyn brownstone set for the first season wasn't entirely new. It was a recycled set from another beloved 90s show, Family Matters. But while the set may have been borrowed, the fight to tell their own story was entirely new.
Wow.
The battle over Maxine Shaw was just the beginning. It was the first sign that this cast and crew would have to constantly push back against a system that wasn't quite ready for their unapologetic, strong, and complex portrayal of Black life. This struggle would come to define their time on the show and set the stage for a much bigger conflict that was brewing just over the horizon. The Shadow of a Friend.
I was loving it. I was loving the fact that we stand up for us. You know, it's like, no, don't play like that. We did this. We've been here.
Living Single debuted in August 1993 and was an immediate hit, especially with Black and Latinx audiences who saw their own lives reflected on screen. But just 1 year later, in 1994, a new show called Friends premiered on NBC. It was also about 6 single friends navigating life in a big city. The similarities were impossible.
Damn, I didn't realize they were so close together, 93 to 94. For some reason, I thought Friends came out before, because I didn't watch Friends until like later on, in like the 2000s. Huh.
To ignore, and for the cast of Living Single, it felt like more than just a coincidence. The truth behind this story is something most fans never knew. Queen Latifah later revealed the smoking gun. She said that the president of NBC at the time, a man named Warren Littlefield, was asked in an interview which show on television he wished he had for his network. His answer was Living Single. Not long after that, he created Friends.
Damn.
Kim Coles confirmed this story, stating with zero hesitation that Living Single influenced Friends 100,000%. The parallels were glaring. Beyond the basic premise, the characters themselves seemed to echo each other. Kim Coles pointed out how her character, the sweet and airy Sinclair, was very similar to Lisa Kudrow's quirky character, Phoebe Buffay.
Yes, indeed.
One was black, one was white, but their offbeat energy was nearly identical. But the most painful part of this situation wasn't the similarities. It was the massive difference in how the two shows were treated by the same studio, Warner Brothers.
Man.
Both shows were filmed on the same lot, but the disparity was shocking. TC Carson, who played Kyle, spoke about this injustice years later with raw emotion. He said, "We were getting less all around." And then they created Friends and gave them everything. He described how the Friends cast received massive paychecks, huge marketing budgets, and better resources, while the Living Single cast had to fight for basic respect. To watch that happen on their own lot, he said, was really kind of a slap in the face. This wasn't a simple case of professional jealousy. It was a daily reminder of how the industry valued their work differently. It created a feeling of being a trailblazer whose path was being used to build a superhighway for someone else. The situation was so one-sided that it wasn't even a real feud. Kim Coles shared a poignant and slightly embarrassing story about trying to address the issue with Lisa Kudrow at an event. Coles approached her and tried to explain she was from that other show, but Kudrow, while polite, had no idea who she was or what she was talking about.
Jeez.
The cast of Friends was so insulated by their massive success and promotion that they were completely unaware of the controversy or the show that had paved the way for them. It was a quiet, painful truth that the cast of Living Single had to live with.
Damn.
Their
man.
groundbreaking show was being overshadowed, and the industry that profited from their blueprint was pretending they didn't even exist. The pressure cooker.
Oh, where's Kyle?
Oh, he's with his kid from the Big Brother program. He's gonna teach him how to be a man.
Yes, well, I hope Kyle's taking notes.
The external pressures from the network and the shadow of friends created a pressure cooker environment on the Living Single set. But instead of breaking them, it forged an even stronger bond between the cast, particularly the women. They created their own safe space, a sisterhood built on secrets and solidarity that became their primary defense against an industry that often felt hostile. One of the most shocking secrets was the intense pressure put on Kim Coles about her weight. She revealed that at the start of every season, her manager would get a call from network executives telling her that Kim had to lose some weight. The pressure wasn't just a suggestion, it became a threat.
Damn.
Coles was told that if she kept gaining weight, the writers would have to start writing fat jokes into the show. This kind of threat could have destroyed an actor's confidence.
Wow. I don't know what her gaining weight had to do with like the show. If you watch the show, like, that's crazy. Gonna have to start writing in fat jokes. Damn.
The Sisterhood of Living Single was stronger. When Kim Coles told Erica Alexander what the executives had said, Erica's response was immediate and fierce. She said, "I won't read those jokes." Queen Latifah also made it clear to the producers that they would not be doing those kinds of jokes on their show. They stood together and protected one another from the cruelty of the business. Their bond went deeper than just defending each other. They built a world of body positivity in their own dressing rooms. Erica Alexander shared that the women would often undress in front of each other and compare their bodies, not with judgment, but with encouragement. At a time when they were considered bigger women on TV, they cheered each other on, celebrating their real and beautiful shapes.
Yeah.
This private ritual was a powerful act of defiance against the narrow beauty
And it's crazy, man. Like all these BBLs and stuff are being praised right now. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Like BBLs are in, natural bodies are out. Damn.
standards being pushed on them. Their connection was so deep it became almost biological. Kim Coles revealed another secret that no one ever knew. She said that after spending so much time together on set, the women's menstrual cycles would all sync up. It was an intimate and powerful symbol of how intertwined their lives had become. This nurturing spirit extended to moments of profound grief. Kim Coles recalled how she and Queen Latifah shared a backstage dressing room. During this time, Latifah was mourning the tragic death of her older brother, Lancelot Jr., who was killed in a motorcycle accident in 1992. Coles said she felt it was her job to be the court jester to the Queen, to keep her laughing and joyful during a time of immense pain. This leads to one of the most touching and hidden secrets of the entire series. Throughout all 5 seasons, Queen Latifah's character, Khadijah, wore a key around her neck. Most fans never knew its significance.
The car key.
That key was to the motorcycle she had bought for
Oh,
her
yeah.
brother. She wore it every day on set as a silent personal tribute to the person she had lost. The Sisterhood of Living Single was not just for the cameras. It was a real breathing thing built in the quiet moments between scenes. It was a sanctuary they created for themselves, a radical act of love and protection in an industry that demanded so much and gave so little in return. The firing of TC Carson.
I missed you.
Oh,
You were my comedy partner.
yes.
Doing things without you was weird.
Every battle has a breaking point, and for the cast of Living Single, it came with the firing of TC Carson. This single act of betrayal fractured the cast, broke the show's creative core, and marked the beginning of the end. It was the moment the behind-the-scenes war spilled into the open, with devastating consequences. As the show went on, TC Carson, who played the suave and intelligent Kyle Barker, became the unofficial spokesperson for the cast. He was the one who would voice their collective concerns to the producers and writers. He wasn't fighting for money or fame. He was fighting for the integrity of their characters. Carson revealed he spoke up when he felt the writers were trying to turn Kyle and Overton into stereotypes. He told them, "You cannot put 2 buffoonish black men against 4 strong black women." He felt it was his responsibility to protect the positive images they were putting out into the world, because he understood what these characters meant to the community. But the network executives didn't see it that way. They didn't see a passionate actor trying to protect the show's legacy. They saw an ego problem. In a meeting near the end of the 4th season, they singled him out. They told him that the rest of the cast listened to him, essentially blaming him for all the problems they were having. The writing was on the wall. The way they fired him was cold and deceptive. On the show, Kyle's character was written off to take a job in London. Carson, sensing what was coming, asked the producers directly if he was being fired. He just wanted to know so he could prepare for his future. They lied to his face. They told him, no, we would never break up the group.
Damn.
Then, the ultimate betrayal happened.
Shady.
Carson was at home, watching his final episode air. He watched Kyle say goodbye to Max and head to London. Not even 5 minutes after the episode ended, his phone rang. It was his lawyer telling him that his contract was not being renewed. He had been fired. Carson later said, "It wasn't that I got fired, it was the way it was done." The impact on the cast was immediate and devastating. The magical chemistry that defined the show was shattered. Years later, on their podcast Reliving Single, Erica Alexander tearfully reunited with TC Carson and finally revealed the depth of the wound his firing had left. With tears in her eyes, she told him, "You were my comedy partner. Doing things without you was weird." The witty, combative, and ultimately romantic sparring between Max and Kyle was a central pillar of the show. Without him, Erica felt lost. She confessed, "I actually didn't even know how to be Max without you. It was like somebody ripped your soul out and said, 'Go.'" His absence left a huge void that the show never managed to fill. The final season felt messy and disjointed. New characters like Tripp and Ronnie were brought in, but they couldn't replace the chemistry that had been lost. The writers tried to give Max and Kyle a happy ending in the series finale, revealing that Max had unknowingly gotten pregnant using Kyle's sperm donation, but it felt rushed and tacked on. The firing of TC Carson wasn't just the removal of one actor. It was an act of retaliation from a network that wanted compliance over
That was
creativity.
funny episode.
They
man.
silenced the cast's strongest voice, and in doing so, they broke the spirit of the show and hastened its end. Life after the Brownstone.
I've been doing a lot of video game work for a while. If you look on my IMDb page, you'll see maybe 20 or 30 different games that I have voices in.
After the Brownstone doors closed for the last time, the cast of Living Single didn't just move on. They took the lessons of strength, advocacy, and resilience they learned on set and built incredible new lives. They proved that the fight for their own narratives was not just a phase, but a lifelong commitment. Queen Latifah, who was already a music icon, transformed into a true Hollywood powerhouse. She became the star and an executive producer of the hit CBS series The Equalizer, a role that allowed her to provide jobs for hundreds of people and ensure that black women were seen in powerful, leading roles. Beyond her career, she embraced motherhood and became a passionate advocate for health awareness, particularly around the issue of obesity. Despite her massive success, she never lost touch with her Living Single family, remaining active in their group chat and expressing openness to a future reboot. Kim Fields, who was already famous from her childhood role on The Facts of Life,
Yeah.
gracefully sidestepped the pitfalls that trap so many young actors. She channeled her experience into a new passion, directing. She directed episodes of hit shows like Kenan and Kel and many of Tyler Perry's projects. Today, she is back in front of the camera, starring alongside Wanda Sykes and Mike Epps in the popular Netflix
The
sitcom,
Upshaw.
The Upshaws. She has also become an entrepreneur, launching her own signature coffee brand and a wellness platform called Refresh by Kim Fields. Kim Coles's journey after the show is a powerful story of turning struggle into strength. She faced a period of depression and financial hardship, but emerged with a new purpose. She is now a successful author, a sought-after motivational speaker, and a coach who helps others find their voice through her Wisdom G IFTS movement. She continues to act with a recent dramatic role on the soap opera Days of Our Lives, and she has reconnected with her roots by co-hosting the Reliving Single podcast with her dear friend Erica Alexander. Erica Alexander truly became the real-life embodiment of Maxine Shaw. She channeled her character's fire and intelligence into a career as a trailblazing activist and entrepreneur. She co-founded Color Farm Media, a company dedicated to producing stories about underrepresented communities. Her company was behind the award-winning documentary John Lewis, Good Trouble and the Big Payback, a film exploring the case for reparations. All the while, her acting career has flourished with acclaimed roles in the horror film Get Out, the Oscar-nominated American fiction, and the series Run the World. After his painful and unjust
Get Out. I think they're confusing her with that one lady. 'Cause I was like, hold up, that wasn't her that they showed right there. I'm just trying to remember, was she in that movie? I know she is in the Wu-Tang show that came on Hulu.
exit from the show, TC Carson didn't just recover, he reinvented himself. He became one of the most successful and recognizable voice actors in the industry. For nearly a decade, he was the original iconic voice of the warrior Kratos in the massively popular God of War video game series.
I didn't know that.
He also gave voice to the Jedi Master Mace Windu in the animated series Star Wars, The Clone Wars. But he never abandoned his first love, music. He is a celebrated jazz vocalist with multiple albums and now owns a jazz club in Atlanta, creating a space for the music he loves. And John Henton, the lovable Overton, has a story of almost unbelievable resilience. In September 2000, his life changed forever when he was in a near-fatal car accident that was the result of drunk driving.
Sheesh.
The crash was horrific. It shattered both of his legs, broke 9 of his teeth, and destroyed his left eye socket. His face was so badly damaged that doctors needed a photograph of him to begin the reconstructive surgery.
What?
After a long and painful recovery, John made a conscious choice to step back from the television spotlight to focus on his family and his health. He returned to his first love, stand-up comedy, and continues to perform in clubs across the country, making people laugh on his own terms.
Damn.
The cast of Living Single didn't just have successful careers after the show. They took control. The battles they fought on set taught them that to truly have a voice in this world, they needed to build their own platforms, not just wait for a seat at someone else's table. Their lives today are the ultimate legacy of that fight. The story of Living Single is more than a sitcom. It's the story of a chosen family who fought for their image, their integrity, and each other. What most fans never figured out is that the strength, the humor, and the love we saw on screen was not just acting. It was forged in a real-life fire, and it's a legacy of resilience the cast continues to live every single day.
Hey man, what a great informative video. Wow. I never knew that show came on before Friends. Although I used to watch it first, I just thought I was just a late bloomer to Friends. Wow, on the same lot. Yeah, because individually, I remember the conversation they said they had that all of them wanted to get paid the same on Friends. Damn. Hey, man, appreciate y'all coming over and watching. That was a great video. Shout out to Retro Grooves. All right, peace out.